welcome to episode 84 of the Trading Without Borders podcast with Omobi, your host. Apologies, there was no episode released last week. In episode 83, I had stated that I was going to take a week off and resume posting on the 19th. Unfortunately, I couldn't release last week because I wasn't feeling too good, and so I couldn't. I wasn't able to record, but now I'm back and we will get right into it. So in episode 83, we looked at updates on AFCFTA. For today, we are resuming discussions on AFCFTA investment protocol. The topic we are looking at today, we are starting with is investment protection standards, and under that we will look at national treatment standards and its exceptions, and we'll move on to others in other episodes. So let's get into it. The national treatment standards require state parties to accord investors of another state parties and their investments treatment that is no less favorable than that it accords in like circumstances to its own investors in areas of management, conduct, operation, use, expansion, sale, or other disposition of their investments. So a state party is expected to treat investors of other state parties with treatment that is no less favorable than it accords its own investors in like circumstances. So the provision goes on then to state what in like circumstances is, how will that be assessed. So I will move into that now. So in assessing like circumstances, an overall examination will be required on a case-by-case basis that pertaining to a particular investment or circumstances regarding an investment, and what are the factors that will be looked at. It will consider factors such as the effects on third persons and the local community, the effects on local, regional, or national environment, the health of the populations, or on the global commons. It will look at the sector in which the investor is active. The aim of the measure in question will also be considered. Regulatory process generally applied in relation to a measure in question, and any other factor directly relating to the investment or investor in relating to the measure in question. So these are the factors that will be considered in assessing what in like circumstances mean to concerning an investment of another state party, national. And the protocol then also provides that in carrying out the examination, it shall not be limited or biased towards any of the factors. So you can't be biased, or you can't limit it to just any of the factors. So that's the step for that. Then the Act also then provide exceptions to when the state party cannot afford similar treatment to investors or investment of other state parties. Let's look at some of them. So number one, it says that measures that are taken by a state party which are designed and applied to protect or enhance legitimate public policy, not limited to public morals, public health, prevention of diseases and pests in animals or plants, climate action, essential security interest, safety and protection of the environment shall not be construed as a breach. That shall not be stated that the state party has accorded less favorable treatment to investor of another state party. So that is what. So if the state party states that the measures they have taken is to protect their own public morals, public health, prevention of the diseases, pests in animals, plants, climate action, then the state party is not in breach. Then another provision also states that preferential treatment granted by state parties to national investment and investors in accordance with domestic laws and regulations in order to achieve national development objectives or address the internal needs of designated disadvantaged persons, groups, or regions shall not be construed as a breach of that national treatment standards. So if a state party has taken measures to protect some designated disadvantaged persons, groups, or regions in respect to national investment and investor, that means its own investors and investment, then it shall not, and if it doesn't accord that treatment to investors and investment of another state party, then the state there is no breach that has occurred here. So the state party will be justified in this case. Another one, a state party will also not be in breach if it takes measures or exceptions concerning investment or investor where those exceptions fall within sectors or geographical regions that represent strategic importance for the host state party in accordance with its laws and regulations. So in this instance, the state party will not be in breach. And finally, for greater certainty, discriminatory measures taken by a state party to comply with its obligation under other regional or international agreements shall not be construed as a breach of Article 12, that's a breach of national standards treatment. Okay, so this is where we wrap up today, and as usual, the podcast is for educational purposes only. Please see a trade expert, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you would like to discuss further on respect of any trade issues or intra-African trade issues or AFCFTA. And until next week, I say to you, bye-bye. Okay, before I run off, remember to share, remember to like, remember to subscribe to the Trading Without Borders podcast. Thank you.